when you ended up with Rudy Gobert on you, was that the matchup that you were looking for?
We wanted that, yeah.
Rudy sucks, not me.
I can't move fast, but I can move faster than him.
Now, when you knock down a shot like this to put your team in the lead, you kind of have the right to talk that talk once the game is over. For Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks, they stole Game 2 on the Timberwolves' home floor, and boy oh boy oh boy was the momentum in their favor. Last game we discussed how Luka and Kyrie were dissecting the pick and roll and free creating on the court. Well, this game, the Wolves made an adjustment to play higher on the screens, so when Kyrie is coming off, Rudy is an arm's length away from contesting the shot. McDaniels is right behind him as well, so this makes the shot happen a little quicker. Kyrie is also pulling up in the space of two defenders, and it ends up in a miss. We all know the playoffs is about adjusting in real time, so the Mavs will run the double screens for two key options. First, if the double happened, then he could send it back to Derrick Jones Jr., and this makes Conley have to split the ground between Jones Jr. and Gafford on the roll. So this is where you see Kyle Anderson making his way over to this spot on the floor. And now when we play the action, we can see Kyrie being Kyrie with the hezzy into the push past Gobert. So with him getting downhill and Anderson being in position to help, it puts Kyle out of position guarding Gafford, and now Kyrie can dump it right off. These high screen and rolls can be very versatile because with the second defender usually being a big, it allows him to get the switch onto a smaller defender, causing the defense to rotate over. So now Luka has the option to deliver one of those fast balls to the corner, which is why you see Cat lunge that way briefly, but instead Luka throws it right down the middle at 100 miles per hour. So you can see it again, this gravity Luka has off these high screens will make the defense come up like a defensive line in American football, and it's like Patrick Mahomes is firing it up the field. It's hard to beat this play because it allows for that quick zip down the floor, but also with that secondary defender having to help, this look cross court will always be open, and if you continue going downhill, well, this lob over the top is always a reliable option. To simulate that same effect of making the cross court guy help, you run the screen going towards the middle of the floor, so now Kyle Anderson has to shift over, and bada bing, Hardy is wide open for the straight cash. Not only will it make this pass across the court much easier, but with Hardy being able to attack the closeout while Gafford is rolling to the rim, Gobert has to help on this drive, and the alley-oop connection is underway. Just by figuring out different ways to still attack the pick and roll, there will be these times where they would see the drop coverage again and could take advantage with the simple lob, but then you'd also see plays like this where the screens aren't set to get the big man open, simply because Rudy and Cat can switch and contest the shot if needed. So this action is to get Luka's separation from McDaniels to attack with momentum. He can now cross back the other way, getting a step on him, get all the way to the paint, and use that soft push shot for the bucket. Luka's ability to get to the paint is so valuable because it'll make the defense collapse hard, which opens up not only a drop off to Gafford, but a kick out to Green in the slot area, a kick out to the corner as well. So with this no look, Luka dimes it out to Green, and we already know how this ends. It's never been that Luka is some fast guy on the court, but he's so deceptive, which gets him to step on the defenders a lot of the time, and with great navigation skills, he'll angle into the lane cutting off McDaniels, and it's an easy layback towards the left. With him being able to make a play so quick, you'll see defenders rush him immediately at times, but with PJ taking the inside cut and Luka playing quarterback, there's simply not a read on the floor Luka can't make. Like, you can think you're gonna pick him up early to slow him down, but that's where he smoothly gets into a spin move out of nowhere, snakes back around to put you in jail, and then will step back while you're trying to recover and nail it into your face. The problem with defenders going over the screen and the big giving up all this space for Luka to get into this gap is that he can now lunge back, which will always throw the recovering defender off, and it's nothing but water. This snaking movement can cause the defense problems if Luka gets too deep in the paint, because with Kyle Anderson not wanting to commit the foul from behind, Gobert either has to stay home or contest Luka, and now Doncic can blend this shot into a lob over the top to Gafford. It's quite ridiculous how well Luka can create on the floor once he has the opening, because that's where we see these fantastic shots after Luka catches the ball en route with Cat crowding gets space for an and-one. When you look at all the gravity Luka has on the floor, you'll see that it makes Anthony Edwards run from the corner all the way up to the top to Luka, which forces the entire backline of defense to shift slightly. So now with Conley initially going up to Jones Jr., this zip to the corner is money team. When you make defensive mistakes and leave Kyrie open to get into a shot, it can be detrimental to your offense. But hey, who are we kidding? We all know that Kyrie is extremely efficient out the triple threat. So once he even gets the slightest amount of space to pull over the jumper, well, best believe he's gonna rise up. With him being a great shot creator, defenders will have no choice but to guard Irving up high. But with his driving ability being top tier, guys will buy hard on his fakes, just getting on that trampoline, and now the short floater can drop right in over the rim. His driving technique is so unpredictable, as he'll first give you the quick hezzy to then burst towards the rim, and instead of going right up, he gets in the Ant's body with that offhand to lunge off and create space, so now this float off the window is clean. Just like Luka, stopping Kyrie from getting downhill is nearly impossible, so after he breaks free and bobbles the ball, he can still regain control to toss this up to Lively. The chemistry this team has is absurd, as it looks like they're a well-oiled machine on this give-and-go action directly into a lob over the top to Gafford. Even if you take it to the basics of basketball, we were all introduced to getting it up the floor quick, making this defender right here commit, and now Josh Green can dump it off for the bucket. The fast break is like a best friend to the Mavericks, as once they see daylight, they're off into the win, and what should have been an and one results in a power carryover bucket for Luka. When you have a guy like Gafford down low, here's where you can turn defense into offense. So now with Kyrie with nothing but space to work with, he'll use that hedging to a cross to get downhill, carry over to go back the other way, and then lean back to kiss his floater off the glass. It's truly beautiful, so that's why guys like Gafford are needed to affect shots, because it's not just the ability to block the shot, but Gafford will also run the floor. So with this light push off, which is just playoff basketball, he can catch the ball while falling down and then focus to make this ridiculous layup. It's great to have bigs who will sprint the floor, as when you pair them with a savant like Doncic, he'll look off Lively to make Jaden McDaniels freeze up for a second, and now he strikes him out, but he sets up Lively for a home run. Getting up the floor as fast as possible is going to yield you great results a lot of the time, as the defense can't get back, and in all reality, it comes down to how much your team simply hustles. In game 1 and 2, the Mavericks have been out hustling the Wolves on some possessions, and all this does is swing the momentum in the favor of Dallas. Right here when Doncic takes the 3, you can see Green moving right past Conley, knocking him over to grab the board, and this cuts into the lead. You also see plays where your big running the floor showcases why it's so important, because with Hardy missing off the glass, Lively is right there to clean it up, and it's an easy slam. When people first talked about this series, some thought the size of Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns would give Dallas problems, along with defenders such as Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but the way Dallas is scheming on both ends of the floor is showing everyone that they were ready for this. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and make sure you turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.